Hi everyone, how are you? I'm excited about this video because it's going to be about how to think about an approach and actually learn from and get the benefit from your competitors, your business competitors, right? Because I think often people kind of tend to have this very negative psychological mindset about their competition, like their business competition, and there's actually a lot of benefit to having competition, and it's certainly one of the sections of a business plan that's important. So I'm going to cover what you should write in the business plan section for the competition section, but also in real life, in the real kind of growing of your business, how you should really get the most out of your competition. So the biggest mistake people make is they kind of say, I have no competitors. I mean, 99% of the time that's not correct. And if it is correct, why not? Like, you know, usually when we think we are like the smartest person in the world, usually it's like we're making a mistake, right? So what do the other people, what do they see that we don't see yet? Or sometimes what happens, maybe it's not an attractive business space and a lot of the businesses have died. So even though it looks like there's no competition at the moment, it's actually, there used to be competitors, but they all didn't make it. And it's very important to know about them and what happened to them, because then you have to figure out how you can not make the same mistake they did and how you can sort of make your business a success and not fall into the same traps. So it's very important to, like, when writing a business plan and when really thinking about your business, it's really important never to say like no competitors, because there should be, and it's not bad to have them. You know, in the perfect world, of course, we go on no competitors, but like in reality, you're gonna have competitors. So you're gonna have competitors, and then there's kind of another mistake that happens right away. Once you realize who your competitors are, there's a little bit of a psychological kind of a pitfall where people kind of close up. They get all secretive and they get all, oh my God, it's them against us, and they get this very negative, very closed mindset where actually these are sort of like the closest people to you in your experience. You're growing the business in the same niche they are, you're having the same challenges, you're going through the same issues, and so it's actually a great resource to look at them and see what mistakes they're making, where they seem to be heading, and that can give you a lot of hints of what's working for them, what's not working, and so you don't have to experiment and try all the things they are. You can actually learn from their mistakes, and that's going to be expensive for them and cheap for you. And so for that reason, it's one great reason to say thank you to your competitors, of course. But also it doesn't have to stop there, because you know, if you're going to be in business and they're going to be in business for a while, I mean, you know, it's like you can't ignore each other for too long. You can begin a relationship with that company, because it doesn't have to be all fighting. It can be, there's a term called co-opetition, which is a hybrid term. It's like collaboration but competition. So let's say there's a third competitor. Well, you guys will sort of like team up and beat that competitor or something like that, or you know, there's some things that you can do that will benefit both of your businesses and grow both of your businesses, because your clients are the same people. So if, you know, you can share a client sometime or something, because probably you aren't even identical businesses. Probably there's some differentiation between the two businesses. So there's some way to maybe share the clients. You know, so there's a lot of benefit from co-opetition kind of a thing. And you'd be surprised. I mean, most companies, they are very much in touch, not very much, but they are, you know, at the high level, they are in touch with their competitors at the high level. I mean, why not? I think it's good business, it's smart. You don't have to give away your secrets, and you don't even have secrets, because once you're out there doing business, there are not that many secrets you have. I mean, everything's pretty public. I mean, most things. And people who are savvy in your business niche, they can sort of put the pieces together from the information that is available. So I mean, there's not a whole lot of secrets anyway. So that's kind of how, you know, that's your competitors. You know, you can take advantage of them. And then of course, very often what happens is, not very often, but you know, it happens. Actually, competitors can merge eventually. So even, you know, from like a hate relationship, the next day you have to, you know, it's like a love because you know, everybody's on the same team now. So competition, your competition actually has a lot of benefits. I mean, of course, the bad thing about competition is that they might beat you, and you got to worry about it. I mean, it's your job to win. But that's pretty much always your job as a business person. I mean, you have to go. You know, I mean, you have to. So you gotta make sure you win. But there's a lot of benefit of being open about your competition and really respecting them and learning from them, and that's really important. And that's really what I wanted to get across. I do want to make a last point about, you know, when you're writing a business plan, or if you're pitching like investors or something like that. So like common pitfalls. So don't make these kind of mistakes. I already covered, like, don't make the mistake of saying I have no competition. But also, you know what, a little bit more subtle mistake that people make is they say, okay, we have competition and there's these guys, but we are better than them because of so and so. And that's just, people usually, like, they don't like that phrasing, we are better than them. Because usually you are a young company. If you're pitching investors or whatever, you might not have been started, or you might have started, but you know, you're very young. And that incumbent might have been there for a while. There may be a bigger company, right? So that existing competitor, you know, usually the new company isn't better because they're just young, they're new. They're actually probably worse. They'll get better eventually. But so what you have to say is, we are different from them in these ways. And the reason that's so good to say is because right away you show that you understand what they're all about, what your competitors are all about, and then you're able to show that you're different, and then you're able to show your potential investor why your particular differentiation, why your approach is actually better overall. Like why there's more advantages of doing or why there's an advantage of doing your approach, right? Because that competitor who's already there, they're doing things a certain way, it may be working for them, but you've got a new way. And that's what your investor wants to see. They want to see you're savvy. How deeply do you understand the nuances of how to serve your clients and how to differentiate from your competitor, while, you know, what's better about your business model eventually, right? So how are you different, and then you can have a conversation of like, you know, is this going to work? That particular kind of differentiation from your competitor. So that's it. That's pretty much how you I mean, I think that's the sort of, I don't want to say beginner, but that's pretty much, I mean, you're set in thinking about how you're different from your competitors. I mean, the more you know about them, the better. Statistics and all that, it's really good to know, especially if you put it on a business plan, it looks more impressive. The more detailed you can explain what your competition is doing and how they're operating and things like that, it's much better. And so you always want to list like 2, 3, 4 top competitors. Okay, little trick. Sometimes if you do an interview or something, or you're talking to someone, like let's say you're talking to a potential client, and they ask you, so who are your competitors? There, you don't want to say who your competitors are. If you're talking to a potential client, you do not want to say who your competitors are, because you don't want that person to go to those competitors and buy their stuff, right? So let's say that, so I'll give the example of my mobile apps. Okay, so they're like business planning apps. So if somebody asks me, so who are your competitors, right? If it's an investor, I'll give one answer, like the business savvy answer. But if it's a client, a potential person, a client, I mean, I don't care, because the apps are cheap. I don't care. But let's say the apps were an expensive product. I would really want to make that sale. So I would say, well, you know, our biggest competition is that people are just not searching on mobile, or that people are lazy, or that people are, you know, their behavior is, you know, they're using pen and paper to write their business plan instead of an app or a website, right? So that's the biggest problem. That's our biggest competition, is the pen and paper. So notice you right there, you didn't mention your actual competitors who are the equivalent apps, right? So the other apps in the App Store, you didn't mention them. You say, oh yeah, the pen and paper, that's the biggest competition. So that's kind of like a little trick, because you do not want to give your competitor's name. Don't give them ideas like that, right? There, Alright, so that's it. I mean, I think that was a good note to end this video on. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. I have videos every day on these kinds of topics, how to grow your business, start your business, things like that. And of course, check out my mobile apps at Problemio.com, and they're available on iOS, Android, Kindle, and they cover business ideas, business planning, marketing, fundraising, which are the main issues entrepreneurs struggle with. And I know that because there's like a ton of entrepreneurs on these apps and they're dealing exactly with these issues. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.